Hello, welcome to another episode of Commander Durdle. Although for this particular set for Lorwyn, we've got something a bit extra. So when I was looking at the card pool, initially my eye was drawn to Nath as my legendary that was in the pool of 12 virtual boosters. But I did notice that lurking also in the rares was Wart Bogadanti. So I thought, well, why not do two decks? So my plan is I'm going to split this video into two, shoot two separate videos. Commander Durdle videos usually go out on a Wednesday, so both of these will go out on a Wednesday, but they'll go out within a couple of hours of each other. Nath will hit first, and then within the next couple of hours on the same day I'll put out I'll make public Wart Bogot Auntie. So let's dive in, because I've got two videos. Like I said, I am going to split it into two, but I'll also try and make this reasonably fast if I can do that, and that way combined even the two videos should be of a nice length if you end up wanting to watch them back to back, but we'll see how things go. So very interesting set to try this with. We've got a ton of tribal cards. However, because of the overlap with the colours, as you'll see as I go and prune this, we may up pruning down quite a bit because we might have some on colour cards which make absolute no sense at all in the deck. So yeah, and particularly where you may have one tribe, as you saw in the set musings episode, where certain tribes in the set, you know, there were 8 tribes, 9 if you include Changeling. But obviously certain of those tribes share secondary and primary colours with one another. So, yeah, just because we're in black here doesn't mean to say every black colour is going to necessarily be an elf. Black was shared with goblins and also fairies. And green, what was it, with... well, black and obviously elves as well, but green was elves and tree folk, and may have been one other thing as well. Well, obviously the technically elementals. So yeah, so there may be quite a bit of pruning here, but you can see certainly we've got a lot of very useful cards from an elf tribal perspective. So yeah, my suspicions are we're going to get pushed down an elf tribal rabbit hole for this particular pool once I've pruned it, and a goblin tribal with, you know, some sort of graveyard shenanigans with Wart. Yeah, well, we'll see how this goes. I've noticed one or two other cards that set up interesting synergies that may come to the fore as we prune this down. I've also already put over in the sideboard my appropriate, my set appropriate forest and swamp here with the artwork I selected. Most important part of the video, obviously. And let's go through and start to get rid of some of this stuff. So we can't play Ponder, Hurly Burly. Target creature books target creature this turn if able. Well, interesting pseudo removal. Use 2 life and draw 2 cards. Then clash with an opponent. Interesting card draw. Okay, that needs to be in there. The Bogart doesn't. And certainly not blue. Okay. I'll tell you what I'll do, just to make life easier all round. We'll just sort that by colour. So just be careful here. We'll leave fertile ground in. I've made a backup to these in case I accidentally delete something when I don't want to. Although you can undo in this, so it's not really a major problem. Whenever you play a spell during an opponent's turn, you may have each opponent lose 1 life. It's very trouble, but how much am I going to be doing that? Probably not much. Okay, whenever another non-token elf is put to a okay, yeah, there's an interesting sort of little combo here in a moment. You'll see in a moment in this card pool. I've got at least one card with regeneration on it. So, although, hang on, am I able to? Oh, it's a non-token elf. Damn, that is not going to work then, I don't think. But we'll see. Oh no, hang on, it was a changeling. So that's what important thing to remember here as well. Any changelings in the deck, stuff like this is going to apply to them. So yeah, easy to forget that. Okay, put 2 on 1. Yep. Target creature, you gain. Okay. It's death touch until end of turn. Interesting ways of getting pseudo removal up. Instant speed here. I'll leave them in for the moment. I can always remove them later. Okay, way of dealing with enchantments. So again, it's set specific. We could find a better card in Magic, but that's part of the fun of these episodes, is to try and leave in set theme stuff if I can. It doesn't always work like that. Got lots of changelings here. Heavy tribal. Of course, Broken Ambitions is in the set. Now, Eyeblight Sending, that's our spot removal. Put any number of target creature cards from your graveyard. Okay, can't complain about that. Return target creature card from your graveyard to play. So this is interesting. Got ways of getting stuff back. Okay, I'll leave that in. Ton of creatures in here, no surprise. Oops. And you can see as well, this is like giving you a bit of a heads up when I come to do the part 2 for Wart, because you're going to spot here there's a number of red and black cards here which definitely will be good in that deck. You're probably also spotting the evoke creatures that I spoke about in the set musings. They're at a rarity which, if you're opening several boosters, you'll see quite a few of them. Okay, whenever a forest comes into play under your control. So I'm not playing a tree folk spell. I don't know about that. I'm going to get rid of it. I'll play the goblin. 3/4 with reach. Okay. Yep, fine. It's 2/1 for 2. Mana Dork. Oh yeah. Put this in now. All creatures able to block. Yeah. This is interesting card. I think I'll leave that in. You can see there's a, I was talking about, see here's a mould, hang on, here is a mould drifter, and of course these evoke creatures were common, so yeah, you didn't have to, you know, if you opened a few packs of this, you know, you wouldn't be difficult to get like the full set. Okay, so no. Play tree folk spell, no. So you can see here, this is one of the problems, is on the plus side we're getting a lot of tribal cards, or several tribal cards that are relevant to elves, but also we're getting on colour cards that are not in the relevant tribe. Okay, this is the one I wanted to keep. Becomes a 4/4. No. Okay. Interesting effect. I think I'll leave it in. I don't think I want protection from elves. I'm not really... I suppose it is in keeping with this. Okay, I'll leave it on there because it's on theme with the commander ability. But I may well take it out. It's going to be good in the other deck. You can see there's lots of cards here that'll feel right at home in the second deck, in the walk deck. Seems to be a lot of roundabout removal here. You don't control. It's a shame that isn't destroy target permanent with a counter on it, because that would really hose planeswalkers and such like, anything like that. That's an interesting utility. I'm going to leave that in. No. I do like cards where you can invest like a ton of mana into them if you want to. Whenever you play a spell during an opponent's turn. Okay. Price of the fair. Okay. And this, yeah, fixing. So we have a Vivid Grove, which I will leave in. Obviously that's off colour. We've got an Auntie's Hovel, which would be good for the other deck. And I will leave the Shimmering Grotto in. No. I wanted to suggest better removal. neither of these are playable in this deck because they're not the right colour. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to look for the other Vivid. I think it's the same artwork, yeah. Bring these in, obviously 37. I'm going to just take this down to around 35 for the moment. Okay, let's get going. So Rex, hopefully this will be fairly speedy. I should have suggested everybody got a nice beverage actually. Right, Soul Ring. Yep. Oh, these are some interesting things. Now, I could abuse... Is that a 1/1? Let me just see if I can abuse the Skeletal Changeling. Yeah, I can. Okay. Or any other token. Actually, well, any other token. You know, I've got tokens, but I just think particularly that one. Might as well put the Signet in. And then, what else we got here? Oh, I haven't seen this. This is an old school card. If a player would draw a card, that player skips that draw instead. At the end of each turn, each player sacrifices a permanent unless he or she discards a card from his or her hand. No. Okay, there's quite a bit of lockdown here. Now, so I'm wondering how much tribal it's going to suggest. This is fine if no one else is playing tribal. I don't know if I've got many tribal. That's good in a token deck. I'm just thinking like this will trigger off of, you know, those tribal spells, like tribal non-creature spells that are in the set. I don't know how many of those I got. We'll see what it suggests. It would make sense for me to go for tribals, instants and sorceries and enchantments where possible. Tribal elf ones. Oh yeah, why not? I don't know if I want a ton of artifacts in here though. We'll leave that for the moment. I do obviously want a lot of creatures. I'll see land-wise. So I'll probably re-suggest the Vivids because of that. But I would want to play interesting. Certainly in keeping with the theme. So interesting filter land there. Okay. Yep. Thematically, might as well do that. Do we want to run... I don't know if we want to run the hideaway lands. Just because they're in the set, probably not. That could be interesting. Actually, it doesn't really matter because Nath isn't. Nath has a static ability, so at the beginning of your upkeep, you may have target opponent discard a card at random. So yeah, there's no requirement to start whacking things. Yeah, these here, I don't know. No, these don't really make sense. This is interesting. There's a whole ton of other stuff we could run. Well, we're certainly playing a lot more non-basic than I normally do in these videos. Okay. Right. What do I want to do? Play a handful of enchantments, maybe? Oh yeah, this makes perfect sense. Don't know if I want to be doing it across the board. I'm just foreseeing that we're going to get a lot of tokens here. If we don't, then I can remove that. Discards a creature card. Oh yeah. Well, that's interesting. Anything else in here? Why not? Okay. Ooh. So let's keep an eye open for those tribal instants. Plus, there are some pretty interesting removal spells in black-green as well. Oh yeah, because we're going to have a ton of choice here. I've already got an Eyeblight sending in there. How are we doing? Oh, we've already got 7 instants. Right. So I'm going to revisit this a little bit, I think. Just touch. So 2 tribal elf instants, we got tribal sorcery. Let's have a look. I should really... maybe get rid of that. I'll look at some sorceries. I discard a card, you draw a card. Yeah. Discards all the cards in his hand and draws that many cards. Well, playing green, might as well have a Cultivate. Now, I thought, didn't I already have an Elvish Promenade in here? Yeah, okay. It's no graveyard. Oh, it's pretty pleasant. Interesting tutor. I should maybe might have to revisit this once I've worked out the creatures, because I might want some tutoring, particularly if I'm going to have, it's going to suggest creatures with like ETB stapled onto them, which gives me extra utility. So what's this? Repeat following process X times. Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player discards a non-land permanent. Sorry, unless a... Why not? Do I want to be running any more mana ramp? Oh yeah, let's do a cut on his reach. Right. Imagine we've still got, so 80 cards. Got our artifacts, got our sorceries, our instants. Creatures. We'll have a quick look at Planeswalkers. I mean, we could run the set Planeswalkers. There you go. I suppose I could run Garrick. Right. Bring it on. Okay. looking for elves with utility. So I suppose okay. Oh, actually, yeah. Amount of stuff that's going to end up in the graveyard. So let's start layering up our elves. I thought, is Imperious Perfect already in here? No. For some reason I thought it was, unless it's in the set though, isn't it? But yeah, but it's just not in my card pool. Okay, good. 9 cards. Okay. Oh yeah, this. That's in the deck, I think. Maybe it isn't. Yeah, it is. Okay, good to know. It's utility elves. Oh yes, good old Joraga. Yeah, interesting elves in that block. I could put in a Craterhoof Behemoth for fun. Visionary. See, that's on theme. An old Hypnotic Specter. I do just like, because this, oh, I'll show you in a moment. We should see if I can find some other artwork. Yeah, we have some stuff that just echoes the commander slightly. Maybe. There's another Spectre. Oh, this. I suppose what I'm not doing is I'm not really leveraging the fact that people have got a ton of stuff in the graveyards. I mean, there are just so many utility elves that you could put in this deck. Put into a graveyard from the battlefield, no. And the list goes on and on and on. Yeah, that'd be cool. You almost need like an elf toolbox with just all these different elves that you can just sub in and out of this deck and keep tweaking it. Okay. So seeing as I'm going to be doing a second video, I'm at 40 minutes now. Like I said, I'm going to shoot these in 2 parts, but I'm not going to do a massive amount of play testing here. I'm just going to do some sample hands. I just want to check the balance here. So I do need slightly more green mana than black. Although I do have a load of mana dorks, so maybe I'll just leave it like that. Just see what's going on. I should have checked my curve as well. So, okay, so we can get out our linear caresses fairly early, which is nice, because that synergizes well with this. So this is going to come out turn 5. So yeah, that's quite an interesting hand. Okay. So, and we've got a Joraga Warcaller as well, though we want to multi-kick this. So already, yeah, this is looking good. Oh yeah. So I'm happy here with the land. Yeah, no, this is nice. Okay. Let's just try this again. So 2 swamps and a command tower. Can't complain about that. We've got Deathrite Shaman. Okay. Oh, no, we're good. Remember growth. Yeah, this hand may be a little bit more problematic, but saying that, most of these are fairly low casting cost. This we'd want to invest quite a bit in, and there was one other one where you would want to multi-kick it probably. Okay. An unclaimed territory, a vivid marsh, and a fertile ground, and a Door of Destinies. We got our Beastmaster Ascension, forest, rampant growth, Golgari Signet. Yeah, yep. This is looking good actually. This is a nice, and the nice thing about sort of tribal decks that synergize well. To me, they always look fun to play because they're always like something to do. It's nothing worse than, you know, you're constantly drawing cards and nothing interesting is really happening. 4 linear events. So yes, the only thing you got to bear in mind is that comes out turn 5. You want to start messing with your opponents. Cool. I like the look of that. So let me just back out of this. I do want to have a quick look at the curve and then we'll be done in this video. Yeah. Yeah, so okay, that's pretty good actually. It's nice. Right. So hopefully you enjoyed that one. That was pretty, you know, sort of built it. Well, I'm using the algorithm, so it does tend to build itself. Let me just export that. Yeah, so that's the first. That's part 1 of Wednesday's video. I will see you, if you want, in part 2, which will be released on the same day, and that's going to be Wart Boggart Auntie. Bye for now. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.